because in life, you gotta shoot your shot. I got a $24,000 medication for absolutely free. And when I saw how expensive it was, I kind of just said, they're gonna give you steroids on steroids. Are you one of the few? Well, this is the channel for you. My name is Victoria, and like you, I have eczema. Today I want to talk to you about Dupixent and how I got this baby for free. For free. Like free. Like $0. If you don't know, Dupixent is like the Rolls Royce of medication. Like, best medication you can take for someone who has eczema. The way it works is that it basically blocks interleukin 4 and interleukin 13, which are proteins in your brain that are responsible for inflammation. If you like science, that's the science behind how it works. Usually it's the last resort for those who have eczema. It's not usually like the first thing that they prescribe to you because it is a pretty penny. But today I'm going to tell you how I got it for free. I'm going to also take you through the steps of me taking the drug and just like my thoughts on it. So how did I get it for free? First of all, little story time. About a year ago is when I first became acquainted with the drug Dupixent, and one of my friends and I went out for coffee, and she was basically sharing with me someone she saw on her feed. I don't know if you guys have watched her, but you should. Remy's journey, amazing journey topical steroid withdrawal and how she's doing. And so apparently she told me about her. I'm pretty sure it was her. And she said how she's been using a drug called Dupixent. So I looked it up, and the first thing, of course, I looked up was the price because I don't have coverage. And when I saw how expensive it was, I kind of just said, forget it. Like, that's not for me. So fast forward to the fall, and I go to my doctor's, and I had been struggling with like a facial flare, and just overall my skin was really going bad. And then I just noticed it came here, and then it really, instead of getting swelling eyes, I just started getting this under my eye, and then it moved here, and now it's there. So yeah, I just want to give my skin a break. The thing is, I look like this morning, but this morning I look, I can't even have to turn off the video. Now that I reflect, I realized I was going through a second phase of topical steroid withdrawal, and I'm gonna do a totally different video on that. But basically, just to tell you, like, short story shorter, I had gotten carpal tunnel surgery, and they had injected me with steroids, and for a couple days my skin was doing great, and then all of a sudden everything tanked. And I think was just a little mini topical steroid withdrawal. So by the time I went to see my doctor, she just looked at me and was like, okay, you got to do something. So she said, you know what, I'm gonna refer you to a dermatologist. Now, I've been to dermatologists, so I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I had no hope for this. I did not care. Like, it was just like, cool, I'll do it. Like, whatever. They're just going to prescribe me steroids because that's what these dermatologists do. So anyway, if you're in Canada, getting a dermatologist appointment or any specialist appointment, this is like 6 months at minimum, right? So I wasn't like banking on hearing from them. Like, I just kind of said, sure, go ahead, doctor. And then I carried on my merry way. So about a week later, I think I missed a few calls. I didn't care. I'm one of those people that if I don't know the number, I'm not answering. So I called back, and they're like, yeah, can we get you in for, like, let's say it was Monday. They said, can we get you in on the Thursday? And I was like, wow, like, that's kind of quick, but sure. I go into the dermatologist. It seemed a little bit more fancy. Like, it was a really nice place, and she even had like a nurse's assistant that kind of did like the intake with me. So I loved the nurse's assistant, and so she's asking me about my story, and I'm like, just so you know, I don't want to take steroids. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, and I don't want to take antibiotics. And she's like, okay. I'm like, and I don't want to take antifungals. She's like, okay, like, trauma anybody. I'm not here for any of like your weird drugs. Like, I'm trying to get better, but I don't want to go back to the steroids. Don't inject me with steroids. Don't make me take any prednisone. Like, I'm not doing it. Because usually that's, when you start going to dermatologists, they're going to give you steroids on steroids. And that's prednisone, and that's a no-no. If you're thinking about taking prednisone, please stop. Please don't. Just don't. Just walk away. do something else. So anyway, so she looks at me and she's like, would you be, are you willing to take like an did they call it immune modulator? Was that the word? I think. And I think I said, do you guys prescribe Dupixent? And she's like, yeah, would you be interested in taking Dupixent? I'm like, well, if I had $1 million, then yes, I would take Dupixent, but I don't. And she's like, oh yeah, don't worry. There's actually a program in Ontario that helps those who don't have any coverage, that have basically been struggling with eczema for a very long time and have tried like everything. Opportunity to get it for absolutely free. Mic drop. So I was pretty excited. I'm like, wow, okay. Like it sounds kind of too good to be true. And when things are too good to be true, it's because they are. She's like, to qualify for this drug, you're gonna have to take something called methotrexate. If you guys don't know what methotrexate is, that is a cancer drug. That is what people with cancer are taking. So, and I was like, I don't want to take your cancer drug. And they didn't say that it was a cancer drug. No, they didn't say that. They just said methotrexate. But you know me and Google, yeah, I Googled that baby quick. And that is what you need to do if you are ever in a dermatologist, a doctor's office, I don't care. Google is your best friend. You need to find out everything you need to know about the drugs that you're taking. You need to be your own advocate, okay? That is, if there's anything you can take away from listening to me, be your own advocate in the sense that know your stuff, okay? And pause. I'm not a doctor. I'm sure you guys can tell. So please do not use what I'm saying as a replacement for medical recommendations or for the advice of your doctor. Please see your doctor and then you make an informed choice. But part of making an informed choice is getting information. So this is just me giving you information. All right, so back to the story. I have to take the methotrexate and for 12 weeks. I'm definitely going to do a video about my experience with methotrexate, the prescription. And because my skin was kind of like bugging me, I'm like, why not try it? You know, like I'll just try it. I definitely had my reservations about trying it, and yeah, that's for another video. But I did try it. And then finally came the day that I got the call that I qualified and to take my Dupixent. And basically what they do is they set you up with a pharmacy near you. You go in for a training. That was like such a cool experience. The lady, she also struggled from psoriasis, so she kind of understood skin things. I went in like terrified of the idea of taking a shot. Like I have been through so many different medical interventions, like that alone is like I have gone through a lot physically. So I have developed a little bit of a phobia when it comes to medical stuff. And I realized I had developed this phobia when I was on methotrexate, because you have to go take blood work every week. And one of the times I was bawling as I took my blood work, like just bawling like a baby. And I'm a strong girl, okay? Like I'm not just a wimp, like I'm strong. I've had children, I've had like near-death experiences because of different medical things. Like I'm a tough cookie, but they went to take my blood and I was bawling because I think at a point your body can only take so much. And because I had been through so many different things, I didn't have anything left in me. So when I went in, I was like, oh gosh, like how am I, you have to inject. Okay, I threw those over there. Let me just go get them. So wait, what you gotta do, this is like, I've already used this one, but you gotta pull it off and then push it in and you go 1, 2, no, you don't count. You push it in and you wait for a click and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and you pull her out, okay? I'm gonna insert me doing it on a different day because today's not my day to do it. But usually I would do it in my stomach because that's where the fat is. The more fat, the better. Do not put it in your muscle, okay? Another piece of advice, make sure it's warm. You have to store this in the fridge. Typically, I would take mine out for 1 hour. They usually say about 45 minutes. I found that 1 hour outside at room temperature was the sweet spot. The last time I injected that baby, I didn't even realize that it was being injected inside. Like I didn't feel the process. If the liquid is cold, you'll feel it go in and it's kind of like, ooh. I think there's a video actually I have, that one of my first ones, that I'm like, you can just see me. I have like a pained expression. I'm like, I can feel it. But the next time I did it, I didn't feel nothing. I was good. So anyway, I'm gonna do like a little voiceover and show you the process of me shooting my shot, basically. Because in life, you gotta shoot your shot. So the first thing you're going to want to do is check the expiration date, and I realized that I showed you the wrong side. You want to make sure that it is up to date, and mine was fine. Once you've checked the expiration date and you give a good thumbs up, you're going to clean the area with rubbing alcohol. You could either get the like pre-done pads, which I have, but I can't seem to find, so I had to use this one. And I just swabbed it on like a piece of paper towel. I found the area in which I wanted to do my injection, a nice chunky piece of stomach, and clean the area. Also, please make sure your hands are clean before doing any of this. All right, so you're going to pull out the cap of the pen and you're going to firmly grip on that chunky piece of fat, and you will just press 1, 2, 3, let's go. As you can see, I can feel it going in, and I wait until I hear a click sound. When you hear the click, you begin to count to 5, and I'm counting to 5 as we can see, and then you take it out. At this point, you could put on a Band-Aid, but I believe I just wiped the area and left it there because I'm recording. And, you have to dispose now of your needle. So to dispose of your needles at your local pharmacy, they will give you something a container that you can give them the hazardous material. And this is just, I think this might have been my 1 month update or how I was looking. So I just wanted to show you guys my skin, how it was doing. My hands definitely were the first to begin to heal. I was pretty impressed by that. So how do you get on Dupixent? So what I want you to do, first of all, you'll have to go to your doctor and you'll have to tell them that you would like to see a dermatologist. This is if you're in Ontario. I don't know if this is Canada-wide, but definitely in Ontario. Go to your dermatologist. Your dermatologist might not know, but there is a program called Freedom Support and Trillium. Both of those programs are what is going to help you to qualify for free. They're 2 separate programs, but they kind of work in unison with one another. So you're going to yourself go on the Freedom website and the Trillium website, which I will link below so you can look into that. And you're going to get informed, and then you're going to tell your doctor that you would like to try Dupixent because you've done everything else. You need to go to the dermatologist. Then you'll tell your dermatologist you want to be on Dupixent and that this is a program that is available. Hopefully you have a dermatologist that knows this, but if they don't, you can bring that information to the dermatologist so that they can start the process for you. You will obviously need to provide your financials. You're going to have to, provide your history with eczema and all the medications you've taken thus far. And then that'll get the ball rolling. I would say from the moment of my first appointment till when I took the Dupixent, it was about a 4-month process, maybe possibly 5. I think I went in December and I started taking Dupixent in April. I could have taken it sooner, 1 month sooner. I was just being a chicken, okay? So I would say it's a 4-month process, but I had to I literally 3 times, I believe, I made an appointment and then I canceled because I was too afraid to shoot my shot. But I'm very grateful to this drug. Whoever made it is a genius. And hopefully in the near future, we're gonna start to see some healing medications for eczema. But right now there's no known cure for eczema. However, there's many people that have tried different things that have worked for them. And I'm all about that on this channel. I'm all about finding what you can do to keep comfortable, because you gotta live. If you don't heal from it, you can still live a very good life. Thank you so much for watching. This is me shooting my shot. Hopefully you can shoot your shot with eczema. Let me know in the comments if you are in the Ontario area and you need more help in terms of applying.